always something I'm pumped to eat. But when I was with the Datoga tribe in Tanzania, and they've just ripped open this cow, they've got blood in one gourd and then gastric acid from the small intestine, essentially liquid green shit, and they're tearing off pieces of raw liver. This wasn't in the outline. It's just happening. And they're like, we got to roll. They're doing it. We got to roll now.
So they dip the liver into the gastric acid?
Into both. Yeah,
that is so wild.
They double dip. And let me tell you, they double dip. So they go blood, gastric acid, they toss it down, and it's one of the most strange experiences I'd ever had, but I loved it because I loved how the people there were so into it. And for them too, people talk about, you never want to be overtly disrespectful on camera, but oftentimes people are aware within their own culture if they're eating something strange.
So here's you doing this.
Oh yeah, that's a different one. So.
But
that's right. So this is also, we're watching a video here with the Maasai, also in Tanzania. In Tanzania, they have a very interesting way to kill the goat. What you see here is that the blood has pooled inside, and I'm scooping out the blood with my hands. It's still warm, and
it's coagulating too.
They slurp it up. Well, and you got to try to get it all before it coagulates too much. And if you hesitate, like, I need to get in the right headspace, it's going to be gone. They're going to eat it all.
Jeez. There's a lot of Native American tribes that would take raw liver and squirt bile on it. Yeah, they would squirt like gallbladder juice on it. And
have you had bile?
No.
It's the most bitter thing you'll ever taste. All I can compare it to is if, when you are a young man, if you dry heave to the point of just throwing up stomach acid, it's that.
So why would they want that on their food?
Remarkably, cultures around the world develop a taste for the extremes in different directions. There's the four main tastes that people talk about, whether it's like sour, savory, sweet, places like stuff that's really salty or bitter in the case of bile. In northern Thailand, they will take the buffalo bile and drip it over their rice, their sticky rice, over raw buffalo meat. It's just been a taste that they've acquired over time.
And they look forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever talked to a doctor or a nutritionist? Is there some sort of a reason to do that? Like, is there some nutritional benefits to putting that stuff on your food?
Bile in particular?
Yeah.
I've not talked to a doctor. I don't know that many doctors.
That would be an interesting question to ask. Like, why would tribes do that? Like, maybe there's some sort of a secondary, not just a taste thing. Maybe there's some sort of a benefit.
Yeah, I've seen it a few different places around the world. In Vietnam, I experienced it too, mostly in Southeast Asia. But yeah, some folks just really love the intensely bitter flavor. Yeah, it's an interesting question because I guess if you're looking at the lens of evolution, like, what do you call it? Through evolution, like looking at societies and cultures through like evolutionary biology, you might assume like, well, people ate things because they were the right things to eat, but sometimes they ate things because they were available.
Right.
And with that one, I couldn't tell you.
But do they ever eat the liver without all the other nasty stuff connected to it? Just raw liver? Because raw liver itself is difficult.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, so it was nice to be distracted by the green poop juice on there. So at that time they ate, to back up a little bit, this Datoga tribe was super interesting. We're way out in the middle of nowhere in Tanzania. They have these beautiful huts with a flat roof, grass growing off the top of it. And in this tribe specifically, it was a woman's job to dispatch the animal and to butcher up the animal. And so the way they kill it is, because this is a whole different topic we could get into, but the way people dispatch animals around the world varies greatly. And here, they would take the cow, they would tip it on its side or on its back, and then they would essentially suffocate it. They would put different logs, like wood, long pieces of wood or branches into its throat. It would take about 10 minutes. And eventually, it would pass away. Then these same women cut it open, they get to butchering, they have their first initial feast, they get dibs, which you don't see in most cultures, especially in Africa. Usually stuff is going to go to the guys first. They take what they want, then they mix the rest of the bile, blood, and organs all together and present it to the men.